Imagine making a $20,000 mistake when it comes to one of the biggest decisions of your dentistry career. My name is Paul Dr. Nacho Goodman, and I don't have to imagine that. I made that mistake in purchasing our second dental practice. I did not have the tools to be prepared and aware when purchasing our second dental practice. I did not ask the right questions. I definitely did not have the right team on my side. So I want to share with you 2 tips to avoid making a $20,000 mistake when it comes to buying or selling your dental practice. First tip, wrong team. Do not have the wrong team. Even worse sometimes than wrong team is no team. So wrong team or no team is a big problem. Who should be on this team? Advisors that you trust, like a dental-focused accountant, a dental-focused attorney, possibly a consultant, possibly a financial advisor. Get people in your corner who do this every day and can tell you when things are going well and when things are going sideways. On this team, they should alert you that working with a dual representation broker, like I did 10 years ago, is dangerous. A dual representation broker makes the claim that they can work for both you, the buyer, and the seller at the same time. I believe that this is totally nacho nuts. So ask brokers, are they dual representation? And if they say yes, be very, very, very cautious. Maybe even not work with those type of brokers, because for me, it costs me a lot of money and stress. So the first tip to avoid losing $20,000, do not have the wrong team. The second tip to avoid losing $20,000, don't start too late. This especially goes for sellers, but it can be for both. Desperation causes disasters. Desperation causes disasters. If you do not prepare to sell your dental practice before you need to sell your dental practice, it is likely you will make a mistake that costs you at least $20,000. So get a practice analysis. Invest in a practice analysis to get the stats of your practice now. Finding your first job in dentistry is not easy. Hiring your first associate, also difficult. I have created Dentist Job Connect to solve this problem. My name is Paul Dr. Nacho Goodman, founder of Dental Nachos, and connecting dentists for jobs is one of my favorite things to do. It embraces our amazing nacho spirit of collaboration, community, and helping each other. To learn more how we can help you, text job to 215-543-6454. Are you looking to hire an associate in the next 6 months?
It is totally impossible to be patient-centered and take PPOs. No, wait, that's not right. It's totally possible. Well, I don't know, and that is why I invited my amazing friend, Dr. Travis Campbell, the expert of PPOs. He's been in network, he's been out of network. He sleeps with shredded EOBs underneath his pellet. Travis, you can start your video. My video might be working a little bit strange here for a minute, but people would like to have me frozen anyway, Travis. So that's no problem. I know you can hear me. Share with us as I get ready here for our audience. Tell us a little bit about your background as a dentist, as an insurance expert, as an author, and we're going to dig into tips for being profitable. But you're coming to Philadelphia. We're so excited. Tell everybody what they're going to learn when you come.
So I graduated in 2009 and I did an immediate startup practice, which sometimes I might not recommend anymore. So I've owned my office for 13 years and I had a lot of the problems everybody else has. I made a lot of mistakes running the office, both from a business point of view, from a professional point of view. You know, insurance was a huge nightmare for me, like it was for most people. And for me in particular, I don't ever find the answer no to be acceptable. So I looked, found information, couldn't find a lot of it. So I had to do a lot of research myself. And then just over the years, found ways to make insurance work really well and make it really profitable for our office to, work with it. So, we've been very successful with what we do. And over the years, I just started getting more and more people to ask me questions and wrote a couple books and have an online training platform and, everything to just help other dentists not spend a decade trying to find the answers that it took me to find. So what we're doing in September and October is, talking about everything that comes with, how to run a successful office. My part is how to run a successful in-network office. And of course, Paul, you've, jumped ship and gone the opposite direction. So it'll be nice to hear back and forth what works and what doesn't.
I'm going to my auxiliary bunker here because all the PPO dentists were going to throw stale nachos at me, Travis, when they hear this. So I want to share this show is for PPO dentists because I've gotten a lot of flack, a lot of stale nachos saying there's no love for the PPO dentist. You only care about the out-of-network dentist. Even though I was a PPO dentist for 19 years, somehow that doesn't count, Travis. So this show is for dentists that accept PPOs. It's for dentists who also don't accept PPOs. Because Travis, my first question to you is, when dentists say that they're totally out of network, do they still need to know a lot about dental insurance?
Well, I would ask the question, do your patients have dental insurance? I mean, here's the challenge, whether or not—
Wait, I'm going to answer that question. Guess how many of my patients were totally out of network, utilized dental insurance? 66.5%. 66.5% of our patients have dental insurance and come to us out of network.
Yep, which means 66.5% of your patients want to utilize their benefits. And the challenge a lot of times that we have is and it happens often, if we don't communicate with the insurance companies well, if we don't provide the right documentation, the claim gets denied. Well, even if you're fully fee for service and you got all your money up front, if your patient's not getting their benefits, are they going to be very happy? I mean, that's the question is, the benefits may be lousy, the insurance plans may be horrible, but it's still a benefit to the patient. They want to maximize their benefits. So our goal is just to make sure, whether you're in or out of network, to make sure that your patient gets the most out of their insurance that they've paid for, that they can.
I like that. So that's a great take-home tip. Whether you're in network or out of network, just want to remind you, I'm in my bunker, not my fancy studio, because all of the PPO dentists I'm under attack with stale nachos. That's why I'm in this different studio here. So Travis, number one, thanks. You need to know about how insurance works no matter what. Now, one of my amazing friends, Dr. Mitchell, I'll be better at helping my patients use their insurance, even though I am out of network. Right now, I'm kind of out of it. So let's go to this, Travis. There is some taste great, less filling. If you're as old as me, that was a Miller Lite commercial. Miller Lite tastes great, less filling. Okay. They were arguing over two good things. So let's talk about patient-centered care versus profitability. How do PPO dentists like you balance patient-centered care and profitability? Because the myth may be that you have to rush around on roller skates and that you have to see 14 patients at once. Talk to us a little bit about that, how you can be patient-centered and profitable using PPOs.
Well, I mean, roller skates are a thing of the past. Hoverboards are where it is.
Right.
Let's get that right. Now, you know, so we produce more than twice what we did 7-8 years ago. And by the way, I mean, I only work 4 days a week. And actually, technically, right now, I work 2 days a week.
Let's bring to like,
So,
I'm going to interrupt. I'm sorry. I'm going to interject. I don't interrupt. What does your practice collect yearly about?
over 2.5 million.
Over 200. And how many PPO plans are you in network with about?
Uncountable.
Uncountable.
Lots.
Too many to count. So this is on the record. Whatever record this is, I want it on the record. Bang a gavel that Dr. Paul Nacho Goodman is sharing the story of a PPO dentist that's patient-centered and profitable. So it is possible. But Travis, it's not easy. There's strategies to get there, right?
Yeah, but I mean, to answer your first question, I don't feel busy. I don't feel rushed. I walk everywhere in the office. I don't go running anywhere. I get time to talk to the patients, or at least the types of conversations I want to have with them. Years ago, I felt more rushed than I do now, and yet we produce twice as much. What stresses us out isn't the dentistry in most cases, and it isn't that you have to work hard. It's that you've got to be efficient, and you've got to be able to delegate what you can delegate to team members that you've trained and trust.
Let's pause there. Let's pause there, Travis. Efficiency and delegation of team members that you trust. I did ask on Dental Nachos today, some of the PPO dentists that I know, like you, what are their strategies for success? Someone saying never really thought about it, but efficiency and delegation are part of that. What does that mean in your daily life? Give us actionable tips, whether that dental assistants, scanning, hygienists, numbing. What are some efficiency and strategy tips? Efficiency and delegation tips.
I'm in one of the 2 states left that hygienists can't numb, and it ticks me off. Like, I would love to give that up, but if you can't give that up, give it up. For instance, right now I am training one of my assistants to do denture adjustments. Dentures are easily, fixable problems. So, in our state, anybody can adjust a denture, which means I don't need to waste my time doing it, and I can teach her to do it. And she's already started doing pretty well, and it's only been 2 weeks. And it's not like we have a denture patient every day. So that's one thing she can do that takes it off my plate. And patients actually like her more because she can spend more time with them, or cares to spend more time with them than I do. Either way, it's making temporaries. If you pack cord, have them pack the cord. I always hated packing cord. It's everything. My assistant writes most of my notes for me. I go in there and modify them at the end, but it takes exponentially less time than writing them from the beginning.
So let's back up here a second. These are great tips, Travis. We're packing cord, writing notes, but one of the myths, and we have the awesome Dr. Mitchell Rubinstein on, and now that our practice is fully out of network, I'll share. We do a lot of implant cases. We have specialists. We'll talk about that in a minute. But the out of network dentist may actually be doing more chairside things than the PPO dentist, because they might not have as big of a team, and they may be making their own temporaries, as an example. So you're we talk about insurance maximums. Sounds like your advice is, let people do in your office things you can't do to the maximum legally allowable rule. Is that accurate?
Absolutely. I mean, the thing about being a dentist is there are some things no one else in the office can do other than you. But there are a lot of things that many of us do that you can easily train someone else. And the problem is, I think the reality is, and this was the hard part for me, years ago, it was I didn't want to give up anything because we're perfectionists. We don't like that concept. But what you got to realize is your time is exponentially more valuable than someone else's. Just look at how much you're paid per hour. I mean, that's the way to look at it. So if someone can do something 80% as well as you, then give it up, right? Because your time's worth 3 and 4 times as much. Advice.
When I started Dental Nachos and I hired a business coach early on, when I only had one team member, she said, you guys want Paul to go through the day doing stuff only Paul can do. and anything you could do. So I might be able to console a seller after their deal fell through. Now I do have the amazing Brandon Hill helping me, but early on, only I could get on that phone call and say, we're sorry the buyer backed out, we're going to get another one. And a team member could set up a Zoom meeting or do a MailChimp. So this is just great business advice in general. Let's shift for a minute to you. Tell us a little bit about, you were out of network, you went back in network, you hired some companies to help you negotiate fees. If you're listening, we have sponsors. Text PPO to 215-543-6454. Please drop our sponsors in the chat. We have 3 sponsors that help with this. So without mentioning any names for this, and we keep it evergreen, Travis, what is the benefit of hiring a company to negotiate higher fees for you?
Well, they can do a much better job than you can, for one. I mean, that's where it comes down to. The other thing is to do it correctly in today's world. It's understanding affiliations, understanding network leasing, and realizing that while a lot of people complain about network leasing is because they don't understand it. If you do it correctly, you can actually use network leasing as a benefit to get higher fees on more insurance policies, which is what we did. So we went back in network with dozens of insurance companies.
Now what? I'm going to
but at higher fees than we've
Timeout.
ever had.
Basketball. Villanova is in the Elite 8. I know this will be dated, but that's my school. Timeout. You were out of network and you were thinking about going in network. You hired an insurance negotiation company and you happily found out what about the fees that they got to you. I know this might seem overly simplistic to you. We have so many dentists out there that would just love this simplistic breakdown. So even though it's like you hire a company, negotiate fees, they come to you, say, hey, Dr. Travis, you're out of network now. You're going to go in network. What did they report back to you?
I mean, they reported back that our fees were reduced by half of what they were before when we were in network. And they did all the work. I mean, that was the thing. I've seen.
Travis, how about this? I know dentists, was it worth the money you invested? What kind of ROI have you gotten on that investment of paying a company to negotiate the fees?
Now, granted, the downside is it takes a while, but once it kicked in, we got ROI in less than a month. I mean, it probably took a week to get the return on investment.
They paid for themselves in a week, and now you're making more money indefinitely for that. So
Correct.
If you want to make more money by doing nothing extra, investigate that. Text PPO to 215-543-6454 will help you. We have a question from the audience. Travis, when you did go back in network, did you need additional team members to handle the claims and other things you were doing?
No.
No, so your current team was able to do that?
Yes.
Okay, great. Now, if you're here in the chat, you can ask questions, a few more questions for Travis's tips. Please come see Travis and me live in October in Center City, Philadelphia. We're going to talk about fee-for-service, out-of-network, PPO, patient-centered treatment planning. This is for fee-for-service dentists. You could be so fee-for-service that you make your patients pay a year ahead of time. This is for you. You could be in network with 47 PPOs. This is for you. Text Travis to 215-543-6454 to register. Now, let's say somebody's watching right now, Travis, and I'm going to be this dentist. I've owned a practice for 5 years. I'm in network with 5 plans. I'm not as busy as I want to be. I just want to sign up with the next one that comes across my desk. I just want to sign up with the next one that comes across my desk. Why is that? There are some PPO dentists on the group. We know them. Don't say their names. That sort of say, sign up for every plan. It's going to be fine. If you don't look at the nutritional facts, the economic facts, tell that dentist who's about to just sign on the dotted line why they should pause and what they should do.
It goes back to network leasing. There are many insurance companies that affiliate with others. And so if you sign for one that happens to have a lower fee than some you're already in network with, you could actually start making less money on the plans you're already on. So you've got to be careful on who you sign up with and in what order. And I mean, there's a game to play with it. But if you do it correctly, you can actually sign up for an insurance company and then be in network through them and have higher fees.
So what you're sharing is
use it either way.
If you do it incorrectly, it could be dangerous. I use this example. Doing it incorrectly would be like someone putting more calories in your food. You'd be eating the same food and gaining weight. Doing it incorrectly means you could sign up for a plan and get paid less by another plan. So that's why it's so key to get the right help in doing this. So I really like that point, Travis. Tell us a little bit about this. Dentists love games. They love codes. They love figuring things out. Let's just talk a little bit about your awesome book. People can text Travis at 215-543-6454. You wrote this textbook. If someone wants to buy this textbook and put it in their office as a resource, what could they use it for?
Well, they can use it for learning what they're missing. I mean, that's the biggest part. And it's amazing how many times I've had office managers, really, but sometimes dentists that go, I know everything there is to know about insurance. I'm like, okay, skip part 1 of the book and go to part 2. And they're like, once they read it, they're like, oh, I actually didn't know much at all about insurance. And here's the thing, and this is what I learned when I started having to research it myself. Most of this information you're not going to find anywhere. You're not going to find it online. It's not there, but the source is there. You just don't have somebody who will interpret the source for you. So the book is designed for in or out of network to understand what the game is, understand the entire process and why we're losing
and it's really
how to win.
And that's why we're losing and how to win, make things better legally, right? There's a lot of things, Travis, that you would share and you share them online. There are many things, dentists think are totally illegal, which are totally fine. Is that accurate?
Yes.
And the book will help them learn. So if you think things are illegal and you want to be fine, read the book. If you're not sure if what you're doing is illegal, also read the book, because you don't want to also willy-nilly, as my grandmother says, just not charge people copays because you heard on a social media group you can't charge copays, because something as, I know that's a broad brushstroke, Travis, but that would be more in the more wrong, troublesome category if you did not charge patient copays. Am I accurate with that?
Yes, that is probably the most fraudulent thing you can ever do.
Spectacularly fraudulent. Sometimes we have a puppy in the house, we have a 7 and 3-year-old, they do things that are spectacularly insane. I didn't know they could do it, but they did it. And now I have to clean up that mess. Now, Travis, someone said, how often do you renegotiate fees with these companies? I'm actually curious because I'm not in network right now.
It depends on the company, but usually it's between 18 and 24 months. Now, I've seen a couple of them recently that's 36 months, so it just depends. And that's the fun thing about some of the companies that you can help get with negotiations is some of them will keep you on retainer, meaning very small fee. They'll renegotiate for you whenever they can.
And that's why
you don't have to worry about it.
If you're just tuning in now, hiring a company that knows what they're doing to negotiate your PPO fees can have a magnificent impact on your money and morale. Being paid $3 more for a pro fee for the rest of your life can translate into tens of thousands of dollars. If you'd like to learn from our sponsors, text PPO to 215-543-6454. Travis, someone asked, how up to date is your book? Are things changing too fast each year, or will it still be relevant?
Well, the book only published like 6 months ago and it's sold out already. So it's pretty up to date. The fun part about the book is everything in it, well, 95% of what's in it was relevant 10 years ago and is relevant today. The book is about
Travis, I want to talk about this. I'm sorry to jump in again, but it's fundamental facts, right? Stuff in the Blair book from 20 years ago are fundamental facts. Stuff in your book are fundamental facts. I'll let you keep going, but just as a practice owner, like you said, these things were relevant for a long time. Dentists just might not have known about it. I'm hearing you right?
Yeah. Now, the things that change, they're somewhat in the book a little bit, but they don't change what the concepts are. They don't change how to understand insurance in general. They're dealing with the day-to-day changes. Now, because of that, I've got an online training platform that keeps up with the day-to-day stuff. But the fun part about it is most of what we deal with insurance, most of the concepts, most of the rules haven't changed in quite a while.
Yeah, but dentists just didn't realize them. And, it's like, I call dental insurance a coupon. If anybody would like some of my team training videos, they can text insurance to 215-543-6454. They're incredibly fundamental for just talking about insurance, whether you're a network with 50 insurances or none. But, there's extreme couponing you could do for your dental practice and really benefit, right? So I want to wrap us up soon, Travis. My team, you click through my presentation. There's a few funny things, I believe. Travis, while they're getting ready to click through, just click through each slide and I'll tell you when to go forward. But Travis, you asked a very funny, very handsome friend to be part of your book. Who did you ask and what did you ask him to put in the book?
Funny and handsome. I don't know if there's anybody in there that's funny and handsome. There's somebody who's slightly annoying that
Yeah,
I guess some people call handsome, but I
annoyingly
think his name's
likable.
Paul
That's kind of
Goodman.
my
Or
brand. My personal brand is annoyingly likable, Travis.
But no, you're in the book, Paul. You're in the back. You submitted a couple of great cases that we used as examples of, okay, here's a case that's a day-to-day thing, and what would you do with insurance? How would you handle it? Even though I want to say the cases you sent me, the patient didn't have insurance. We just inserted insurance in there because that's what a lot of us deal with.
And then I submitted implant cases because this is just a good thing around. I love implants. I call them nachos. Maintaining teeth tacos. I like both, but I just want to share something. I don't know if Mitchell Rubin is still on. Tacos are pretty fragile and they break apart and they become nachos. I don't know if that's a good metaphor for teeth, but it's pretty much an exact metaphor for teeth, right? Hey, Mitchell, right. So tacos are very fragile and dramatic. One wrong squeeze of a hard shell taco, you have a plate of nachos. So how does insurance, just in a broad picture way to inspire people, there are offices saying to a patient right now, insurances don't cover dental implants. Is that true or false? Insurances do not cover dental implants, true or false?
I very much dislike all or none answers because usually you're wrong. Now, insurance 80% of the time doesn't cover implants. That's true, but here's the fun part. Insurance almost always covers implants. The difference is which insurance covers implants. So most patients have insurance through their employer. If they have insurance through their employer, they typically have both medical and dental. If medical covers implants, dental will not, because if it's with the same company, why would you have dual coverage? So the thing is, when these plans are sold to employers, if medical is covering something, then dental will have an exclusion against it. Doesn't mean the patient doesn't have coverage, just means it's not through dental, which is why it's been really cool recently to learn about medical, because medical often covers the things that dental excludes.
Awesome.
So,
and that's why when patients come in, this is one of the things I say, Travis, I have some scripting, but my final thing, I have 9 sentences to explain insurance to patients, has nothing to do with in or out of network, but my final sentence for your team is say, let's find out together. Is my overdenture covered? Let's find out together. So we're going to click through a few slides. This is SuperDentist Business Boost. If you're looking to own a practice, buy a practice, stressed out by your practice, I put together an amazing team. Mitchell Rubinstein is one of these stars who's watching in. Text Boost to 215-543-645-443. Watch and pass. Keep going, team. I have to just go and stop. I'll tell you right, stop there. If you are looking to sell or buy a practice, we have resources for you to get a complimentary strategy call. Keep going, guys. Keep going again. It's like old school slides, Travis. Next, we have our Nacho Flicks platform. Travis is featured on it, as well as many other people. You get a free pass to 30 days of content and CE. I have some good jokes coming up, Travis, to end this up. Keep going, guys.
well, at least your definition of good.
Yeah, thanks. Good, great, Travis. I don't know if it's you can decide if you're going to approve it like a pre-auth. If you're looking to hire an associate, we can help you. You can go next there. All right, this one, Travis. I think this is pretty funny because we did shift status and our patients got a letter that I felt was very unfair from the insurance company. I don't know if it was illegal, but I felt it was unfair. So if someone's saying, I want to drop spoiled guac PPO, but I'm worried they're going to send a mean, nasty letter to my patients that now say that I hate them. I do have a real problem with this, Travis, because I was a loyal provider for some of these insurances for decades. And the mere fact that I shift status, I still will accept their insurance, but not participate, that they sent these letters was like your dentist hates you. Any quick tips on dealing with these letters?
You have to talk to the patient before the insurance company does, because whoever talks to the patient first sets the narrative. I mean, that's the thing. So now here's the fun part is, when you're going to drop and the insurance company doesn't. So you can preempt most of this just by being prepared.
And I think one good thing to do, this is a golden nacho tip for me, is even if you are not deciding to drop any plans, train your hygienist especially to have a conversation of how insurance works. And you may say, we have patients that are in network, we have patients that are out of network, and they can, my business coach said, Travis, is accidentally on purpose, infuse this into a conversation. just so patient. If they say, are you dropping my insurance tomorrow? Say, no, we're not doing that. So just understand. Go to the next slide, please. So Travis, insurance companies are paying new grads less than you and I. And I'm not being totally accurate with what I'm saying here, but I am being accurate with the mean, because new grads are unable to get in network with certain plans, true or false, at a certain level.
You're probably talking about Delta Premier, and that's true most places in the country.
So what you should be aware of, sometimes just being aware of things, as Travis knows, is just good enough to move forward. That if you are not a network provider, I don't know what that insurance company Travis said, I never heard of them. Sound like an airplane. I don't mention any figure. I do know Spoiled Rock PPO. I never heard of that one, Travis. But Spoiled Rock PPO for medium-aged dentists like Travis Campbell and Paul Goodman may be reimbursing $1,000 a crown. And if you sign up now, you will only get $800 forever. That's not an exact example. It's something like that. So if you're looking to hire an associate or you're a new grad watching, this is something to be aware of. Apparently, again, Travis, this falls into it's not illegal, but it's unfair. And it's just something for us to know about.
Yep.
Next slide. So I like this one particularly. Why are you paying us less? Insurance executives, because we can. So there are letters going out. Please don't mention any Spoiled Rock PPO, Rotten Salsa PPO, maybe those. I know those plans, Travis. I don't know any real plans. Are dentists getting letters saying they are getting paid less next year from the same plans?
Yes.
And I love talking to you in general, in person or on Zoom. So I know people are watching and maybe this will go viral, but tell us about this. Just because they can, because they want to? I mean, what are your thoughts? I'm not asking you to solve it. I'm just asking. I mean, to me, it's crazy. I said this, if I said to my nacho team, hey guys, work as hard as you're working, but in 2023, I'm going to pay you 16% less. How many do you think would still be working?
Very few. So, I mean, now, yes, are they somewhat doing it to increase profit? Some of them are, absolutely. And just wrong and whatever, granted, that is what insurance companies do in general. So it is what it is. But the other side of it is to realize, and I actually watched a video on, the ADA's HPI information. They do a ton of surveys every year. But one of the fun ones is over the past decade, the premiums for medical insurance have way outpaced inflation. The premiums for dental insurance have way underpaced inflation, which means the dental insurance companies are making less money per year, which is why the benefits are reducing. And it's because employers don't want to spend the money on dental.
So I do want to pause you. I love that you said this. Bring us back to the first slide with Travis's ICE course, guys. But they could increase the cost to the employer and not decrease the cost of the dentist. This is alarming that they seem more comfortable decreasing what they pay their loyal providers than the companies.
I agree if you're looking at it as a dentist.
Right.
Now, look at it as the insurance company is the dentist and you have clients. If you go to your clients and say, clients, for the same stuff you're getting now, you have to pay more. Well, the client's going to go, well, hell no, we're not going to do that. We want to pay what we paid last year.
Now,
the insurance company says,
I want to share this, Travis, and I don't want no one do anything illegal. Don't collude. And you know why dentists can't collude, Travis? Because dentists can't even show up at a free CE course at the same time, right? We would have an argument about when the illegal medium for collusion would be. But if the dentists all said, well, we're not going to take less, the insurance companies would be in a tough spot. If the dentist said,
that theory goes around a lot. I would say unless you're getting DSOs on board, that's no longer possible. Yeah. There are so many DSOs in most areas of the country. Private practice dentists, if they all got together and said they were dropping insurance companies would go, who cares? We got plenty of the DSOs.
And once again, guys, and I know we don't want to collude and things like that. As someone who's been a dental leader for 15 years, I had a life before Dental Nachos. I couldn't get 10 dentists to agree on a free hoodie. So I just don't, I think
it's not going to happen.
There's really no possibility of all of us going to jail because we couldn't even agree on the meeting. Now, as we wrap up, Travis, someone asked, how does your book compare to Blair's coding book? I think you should have both of them, but are they complementary? Should you get one instead of the other?
They're complementary. Blair talks about specific codes and how to use those codes, and he's very broad brushed. And his book does change every year because coding changes every year. Now, mine is more about how to make more money doing exactly what you're doing now. And like I said, it doesn't change every year. It's not going to get updated every year. It might get updated every few years. And I'm working on potentially maybe doing like a little workbook that might get updated every year with the small changes that come.
And you have a platform,
But
Travis.
it goes forever.
How do people look at your platform to do your, whether it's online coaching, what's the best website for that?
Dentalinsurancegui.com.
All right, cool. So Travis, you shared so much. We'll let you go in a minute. Couple things coming up. In Atlanta, I'm coming and eating food and drinking coffee and doing nothing. So I will be there if you want to hang out with me. You will be speaking in Atlanta. When is that? And my team, please drop in the chat how you can sign up for that. If people want to go to Atlanta, when are the dates and what are they going to learn?
So May 20th and 21st, we're going to be having a insurance profitability course, basically anything about running a practice better. You know, like I said, we do over 2.5 million with 4 days a week, 4 dentist days a week. And by the way, 2 of those days, I'm not there. So this isn't about me being awesome. It's about setting up the systems to be awesome.
Setting up systems for sanity so you can run away from the office. I like that. Setting up systems for sanity to hide from your own office. That's a great, that would be a good course. We would sell that one out.
Now, one of the questions that came up in some previous courses is that they didn't hear me talk enough. I thought they were crazy, but hey, this one, I'm talking for a full day. So, you know, if you enjoy what I talk about, then you'll enjoy it a lot. But we're also talking about dental insurance, how to maximize it. I'm going to go through all the stuff that we do in our office to make sure it's functional in or out of network. And then we're also going to be talking some about the potentials of using medical insurance and what you can and cannot do. And we're actually going to train you that if you want to start looking into medical insurance, you can as well. So it should be a lot of fun.
You know, I'm coming down. Make sure there's almond milk for me for my coffee. I want everyone to, if you're watching on YouTube, you're watching later, the link is in the chat. But if you're watching on demand, just text Travis to this number. You can ask any question, book, courses, questions about Travis. Then Travis, in October, we're going to be doing the Increased Patient-Centered Care and Profitability Conference. This is going to feature you for a full day. It's going to have me on patient communication, treatment plan acceptance, and we're going to have a special guest on building a fee-for-service dream team. One of my best friends in dentistry took over a fee-for-service practice, has kept it going for over a decade, which is not easy, right, Travis? I mean, buying a fee-for-service practice and keeping it going could be way more difficult than a PPO practice, because it's the personality of that person selling it that's often the hardest thing to replicate. So we're going to talk about everything on the nacho plate there.
Oddly enough, I have a friend of mine who sold an office, and the person who bought the office, it was fee for service, he ran into the ground and went bankrupt in 12 months.
Yeah, it's a risky maneuver, and it takes a lot of purposeful team training, mindset training for you. Mitchell's on here. There are so many. If people came to a practice that was totally fee for service, they may run back to their PPOs and embrace them. So the myth of saying drop PPOs and go fee for service could just be a total other set of headaches that you're not ready for or want. It also could be the one you want. So it's really good.
Prepare.
Yeah, make a plan about your plans. Don't not have a plan. Nacho team, please leave this up because I'm going to go back to my presentation. But Travis, can't wait to see you in Atlanta for coffee drinking. Thanks for being a great Nacho friend. We really appreciate it.
Sounds good, Paul. Look forward to it.
You guys have any questions, drop in the chat. Nacho team, leave this up. I'm going back to my other computer.